Governor, one of the measurements of the greatness of society is the willingness in terms of great challenges to engage in shared sacrifice. As we witness the wholesale destruction of an already diminished private sector, we must accept the fact that shared sacrifice simply does not exist in Rhode Island. The bureaucratic arm of the public sector in Rhode Island has experienced few, if any, layoffs, furloughs, budget cuts, etc. After years of enjoying wage growth and employee benefits that are virtually non-existent in small private businesses. Meanwhile, funds allocated by the federal government for the support of small business are being held, ironically, in the event we cannot support government budgets. Meanwhile, the General Assembly continues to abdicate its oversight role while we spend millions to fund the General Assembly. When will the public sector begin to absorb the shared financial sacrifices that so many Rhode Islanders in the private sector have been forced to absorb?
Yeah. So the answer is they already are. There have been layoffs, I think, in almost, I shouldn't say every, but most cities and towns. And I'm sure more to come if we don't get a stimulus. We've had a hiring freeze for months. We're looking at furlough days right now. We've stopped spending substantially to tighten our belt in state government. But here's the reality. Two things. One, laying off state workers, like, I need these, we're like serving the crisis right now. If I were to lay off people of the Department of Health, or the way I've found 50 more contact tracers quickly is by pulling from other areas of state government and having them do contact tracing. So not only would it hurt our ability to respond, it would add to the unemployment rolls. But here's the real point, which is most of what government spends isn't on people. It's on providing health care, on providing services, on paying for nursing homes. And that's what I'm trying to preserve money for in the event that we don't get another stimulus, because the way that we'll have to find cuts will be cutting school budgets, cutting nursing home budgets, cutting hospital budgets, and that's what I would like to try to avoid.
First of all, I want to point out I was focusing specifically on state government. I'm aware that a number of small communities have been forced to engage in budget cuts and have been forced to engage in layoffs. But when I look upon a $10 billion budget, and I look at, for example, the Department of Administration, which has experienced significant growth and plus six-figure salaries, I look at, quite frankly, the public relations budget in the state. I look at millions of dollars.
State government is down about 1,000 employees in the past 10 years. Rhode Island has among the lowest number of state employees per capita in the country.
I would point to states like New Hampshire, but again, the general point is we spend millions to Twin River. We give millions to a General Assembly that's not even functioning at this point, and there's no oversight. Again, it's about the perception of shared sacrifice. State employees at the bureaucratic level, and I'm not trying to cut essential workers here, but at the bureaucratic level, don't have to face bankruptcies, don't have to face running out of unemployment benefits, don't have to face business closures. I understand that people are working hard and they're tired, and no one wants to see anyone lose, but there is no shared sacrifice in this state. And that's the perception.
I hear you. Listen, I hear what you're saying, that people are going bankrupt and people are struggling. And I'll just say that we are tightening our belt too, and absent a stimulus, there will absolutely be furloughs and layoffs and cuts. And I actually think that'll be devastating, a whole lot more than shared sacrifice.
Governor, just one more follow-up on